We released an episode that was very popular for us a few weeks ago, giving you 20 things you missed in Goldfinger. Well, we're back at it, this time highlighting 20 things you missed in From Russia with Love. Hi, this is Dan.
And Tom.
Your field operatives cracking the code of spy movies for you every week. All right, let's go to Russia.
And don't forget to subscribe, follow, or like, or whatever the platform you're using allows. You can help us out with the algorithm so that more people hear about us.
Yeah, we appreciate that. All right, here's the first one. In the pre-title sequence, already we have one. It seems Morzeny is practicing his ventriloquism. His lips don't move or hardly move when talking to Grant. Watch him as he says,
Exactly 1 minute 52 seconds. That's excellent.
Yeah, that is funny that his lips don't move. Now, in From Russia with Love here, Walter Gotell plays Morzeny. Now they bring him back, starting with The Spy Who Loved Me, playing General Gogol. So same actor, different roles. We've seen that before. But as for his mouth not moving like that, I thought, okay, maybe he's dubbed. And when you look online, some places say he was dubbed, but I doubt it. The guy had moved to England from Germany in the 1940s.
yeah.
He spoke fluent English. So my guess is that they changed the line after filming. It's kind of like in Goldfinger when it's like 3 more seconds instead of 7 seconds. They didn't go back and correct it because they had already filmed it, but they changed the underlying line. So I think that may be why it looks a little weird.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing about this actor, Walter Gotell, is they hired him back for General Gogol partly because he was somewhat of a lookalike to Lavrenti Beria, who was the former head of the Soviet secret police. So they got this guy who kind of looks a little like him, so they brought him back to play that general later in the series.
All right, number 2 is the training area for agents on Spectre Island. We remember when she flies in the helicopter and so on. Kleb, Morzeny, and others are walking past the training area. All right, spies got to be trained. Then they walk past more training stations, and you see the training stations. You see what's going on in each one, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a flamethrower in one. There's others.
Gotta love a flamethrower.
Yeah, there's moving targets in the others. Except when they make that one turn, they walk back past the exact same set of the first set of training stations they walked past before. I guess they want to get their money's worth out of that set.
Well, yeah, they had the whole thing set, and they might have just filmed it 2 different ways and decided to edit it that way, because when we first see them, they come through like a doorway or an archway or something, and walk straight across this path past the stations 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then they turn right, and then all of a sudden they're on another path that's leading them to the training stations and the path we originally saw them on. And it's not like they had time to go around the block.
No,
right?
no, they did that.
Boom. So it was an interesting editing choice. But hey, if you're going to have a flamethrower in a scene, you might as well get your money's worth.
Yeah, what the hell? All right, number 3. Now, when Tatiana Romanova is going to meet Kleb in Istanbul, remember that nice room that she's going to meet Kleb in? Well, when she's walking to that room, clever addition, I think, a cat is crossing her path. And that is often seen as a warning sign when a cat crosses your path. Well, yeah, Tatiana will have her hands full with Kleb. So we know that. So the cat is a premonition of what's going to happen. Or maybe Kleb will have her hands full of Tatiana's leg. I don't know. But
now, at least here in America, this could be a cultural thing, right? But here in America, that would have been a black cat, right? Not this sand-colored cat. But here it was black. And at least it wasn't Blofeld's white cat.
No, but any cat counts. Any cat counts.
That's
so
true.
I thought that was a clever addition, if in fact they did that on purpose. If not, we called out something and given them credit for something they didn't think of. That's pretty good.
So, yeah, we think they're smarter than they were, maybe. Who knows? All right, so let's go on to number 4. Let's advance to the scene where Tatiana meets Kleb for the first time.
Yeah.
Now, at 16 minutes into this thing, you'll see Kleb wearing these really thick glasses to read the report on Tatiana.
Yes.
But we just saw her on Spectre Island, and when she's looking at Grant's dossier, she don't have any glasses on.
At all.
And then when she's in the car in Istanbul with Grant, she has them on again. So does she need these things to read or not? Or is it just to look ominous?
I know. That's a good one. All right, number 5. Then at about 18 minutes into the movie, you hear the vocal of the song From Russia with Love. Hear it just a little bit. even though it's generally agreed that we don't hear the movie theme until the end of the movie. And it's when James Bond and Sylvia are in the boat when they're picnicking and when James gets paged by Moneypenny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what we
Cool.
heard was that the passing punt, the boat that was
Yeah.
behind them. I think there was a radio in that boat that was playing it.
Yeah,
So,
whatever. That's
yeah,
cool.
it was. It's just kind of like there.
Yeah. All right. Then a little bit later, Sylvia Trench, while she's on the picnic with Bond, she says, and he got the call, she said,
But we haven't eaten yet.
so Bond's got to call the office. But after that, a little bit later, a half a minute later, he says, as he's pulling up the top on his Bentley, Bond looks at her and says,
Now, about that lunch.
ooh. All right. It's easy to miss. It's a little nuance there. It's quick, but.
Dan, I only have one question for you. What was James implying lunch would be? I'm not sure I caught that.
Right. All right, let's get to number 7. This one's a little bit, okay, it's a stretch maybe. It's a stretch. But at the gypsy camp.
Wait, if you're going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about here, it's a stretch.
At the gypsy camp, when Bond and Kerim are walking to where they will sit, on the left side of the screen, there's a tattered poster. And to me, it looks like it could be the most famous Dr. No poster, the big yellow one with Dr. No on the left and the 4 women across there. You could see it's kind of yellowish and tattered. All right, maybe it is a stretch, but to me, it could be that poster.
Okay, either you have better eyesight than I, or you
Which I
need
don't.
those, or you need those glasses Kleb was wearing. Now, I looked at this because you told me that. Oh, you got to look at. There's this poster here.
Yeah.
I zoomed in. I couldn't find it. Now, there is another poster that appears that may have been misconstrued as that poster, and
No.
it's done a little bit later in the scene when this truck drives into camp, and there's a
Well, yeah, it's not that.
and it's not that, but there's a shot from way back a little bit later on after it drives in, and you could think it was that poster, but it's not it. So
No,
I'm not.
no.
I'm not sure we can count this as one of the 20 things that people missed because I'll tell you, I gave that a good long look.
Yeah, and there's a lot of posters actually when they're first getting to the gypsy camp on the walls there too, but none of them are the Dr. No poster. Only this one that I saw.
Okay, well, like I say, you got better eyes than I.
All right, let's move on to number 8 then. Hooah! Now, when they're fighting in the gypsy camp, you watch Bond. I mean, he's doing a good job fist fighting and doing whatever he has to do, tumbling and everything. Bond's suit is filthy and dusty from the big gypsy camp fight. Then, a few minutes later, in here and there, after Grant saves Bond's life, for instance, here's one instance, it's perfectly clean. And it actually looks like a darker suit, too. So, man, I tell you, Bond is prolific at brushing his suits off.
Well, that's
unbelievable.
That's continuity in the James Bond world. Dan.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It does go back and forth with how clean or dirty it is. And the one that I love is there's a shot from his back, and the shirt, the top of his shoulders are just caked in something.
Yeah.
I mean, so we talked about this as 20 things you may have missed in this movie, right? This is one you probably missed because you were concentrating on the fight. But the next time you watch this scene without thinking about it, that's going to jump out to you because we told you about it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, number 9. After shooting Krylenko, Bond returns to his hotel, and he's walking in. He has no AR-7 butt in his hand. But a couple of seconds later, he reaches for his attaché case with the butt in his hand as he's coming into the room. Come on. He had that in his side pocket? Is Bond a magician? I think he's pulling this stuff out of nowhere.
Well, okay. There's a weird history with this thing, starting with the scene when he pulls it out of his jacket with Kerim Bey to shoot Krylenko. I mean, because he's got it on the inside of his jacket, kind of like where he would normally keep his gun in his holster.
Yes,
Now,
that's
when they're
tough.
walking, you do see a bulge. So maybe there's a harness there, but I don't know. But you do see a bulge in the jacket that he pulls it out of.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a harness.
Then when they're done, as they're leaving, it looks like he sticks it into his outside pocket on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Right. This is kind of like what happened in Mission Impossible 3, where the disc got put into the wrong pocket.
Yeah.
Now, when he gets to the hotel room, there is a bulge on the left side, not the right side. And so he does appear to reach back like he got it, but down there's no holster. So it's like you say, did he get it out of his back pocket? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
kind of an amazing thing.
Yeah, just the same. This is a pretty large piece to have in any suit coat pocket. I don't care what pocket you're. Yeah, it's not fitting in my suit. I know that.
Well, and if you watch the way he produces it, it does kind of appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a magician. I tell you, Bond is a magician. It's fantastic. All right, number 10. Now, Bond, he's in his room. He's tired. He's dirty. He's going to take a shower. So he walks into the bathroom and he turns the tub water on. Oh, tub water? No, it's only steam that comes out. There is a water running sound, but there's no water coming out. It's just steam
Yeah, now you told me this,
or smoke.
and I didn't believe you. So I went back and I looked at this thing, and you
Yeah,
could tell what they were doing was putting steam into the room to make it look like he was putting hot water. And there is no, it's just steam. It's like a steam jet. And it's
exactly.
really funny. And my guess is 99% of you listening have missed this. And again, this is another one. Now that we told you, you'll never miss it again.
Yeah. Now, I like this one a lot, number 11, because it involves Daniela Bianchi. After Bond hears this sound,
Or a body double. I'm not sure.
yeah,
which.
right. I'm hoping it's not a body double. After Bond hears a sound in his room, he puts on his little blue towel to cover himself up, of course, and he sneaks out on the veranda to enter his bedroom from the outside. And right at this one particular part in the movie, and I'll tell you exactly where this happens, at 53 minutes, 18 seconds into the movie, yes, we see who we guess is Daniela Bianchi as Tatiana walking nude towards the bed. It's fast, but it's there, and it's beautiful.
I never missed that one. So we're putting this in the 20 things you've missed. I've never missed her walking there naked.
I'll never miss it again. I'll tell you that. All right, let's get to the scar. James Bond's scar, number 12. He's got a scar. We know he's got a scar. Tatiana is looking for it when she's first in bed with him, and they show it, and it's a curved scar. But remember, earlier, Sylvia Trench found it as well in the beginning of the movie. And we see the scar then, too, and it's mostly straight. The one we see later with Tatiana is curved. The scars are totally different. Totally different.
Yeah, now this is another one that's easy to miss. But if you look at the scars side by side, like you say, they're different. It's not just that they're different shaped, but the stitching's very different.
Yeah.
Right? The one that Sylvia sees is actually very neatly stitched. Yeah. And the one that we see when he's in bed with Tatiana is kind of jagged. So kind of like, oh, it's a newer scar or something. I don't know.
Yeah, come on, man. Keep the same scar for crying out loud. All right. At Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, we know, when Bond is meeting Tanya clandestinely to get the map of the Russian consulate, they say that the tour group walking through was a real one. No, and it looks actually like it might have been a real tour group walking through. So,
yeah, no, I've been in there, and there are tour groups all over the place. It's a beautiful place. Put this on your list if you go to Istanbul to go in here.
Yes.
Now,
God.
The guy who's listed in IMDb as uncredited tour guide, whatever, however they phrase it, was Muhammad Cohen, and he was a real guide at the mosque.
Yeah.
I love how they pull the real person in to do that.
Perfect. All right.
So let's move on to 14 then, Dan.
All right.
14th reason. Well, I'm going to say 13th because I'm not sure I'm buying the poster.
Yeah, it's 14.
Kerim Bey gives Bond and Tatiana their fake passports of Mr. and Mrs. David Somerset.
Yes.
And her first name is Caroline.
Yes.
Now, if you watch this thing at an hour and 8 minutes into the movie, you see Tatiana's mouth is moving. There's no sound coming out.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's mouthing James Bond's words of that she's Caroline Somerset and that they're Mr. and Mrs. David Somerset.
It looks like she's saying what he's saying.
Yeah, and it looks like she's then practicing again, and you can kind of see her mouth going Caroline Somerset with no sound coming out. She's just practicing. Yes, I'm Mrs. David Somerset.
Yeah. I mean, she might have been practicing the second time, but the first time, I agree. It looks like she's mouthing Bond's words. And
Yeah.
I mean, it happens sometimes. I remember an episode of the Andy Griffith Show where Barney Fife was mouthing, Don Knotts played Barney Fife, was mouthing Andy Griffith's words as he was talking. And they kept it in there. It was like, oh my God. Anyway, I think she's doing the same thing here.
That could be.
All right, let's get to number 15. Tanya is in a blue nightie with lace top when they're on the train. Nice. She looks terrific, right? Bond bought her that, surprised her. But later, Tanya changes. Well, she doesn't change, but her nightie changes. The light blue with lace at the breast is not a light blue with lace at the breast later. It's blue, but no lace. I mean, how many of these things did Bond buy? I mean,
Yeah, so I think
he
this
had a
is
good
one of those
shopper.
things. I think this is one of those things that you missed, Dan. All right. Because when he leaves the cabin to go with Kerim Bay, he says to her,
We'll continue the fashion show later.
and if you look at the suitcase, and she starts going through the suitcase as she's pulling, there's like a stack of nightgowns there. Now, this one doesn't appear to be in that stack.
Yeah.
But then when she's got it on and she's playing with her hair, trying to make it look like she's got a mustache, the suitcase is empty. So she's emptied it out, looking at and having her fashion show, trying on all these different nighties.
Yeah. Look, if he bought more than one, I mean, buy a different color for crying out loud. You know, you buy the same.
It'd make it easier on the audience, that's for sure.
Yeah. And for her, too, have something different. So I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, all right.
Let's get to 16.
Here's another one that you probably missed, another continuity issue here for me. So number 16, I guess it is in our list. Kerim Bay is dead.
Yeah.
And Bond picks up Kerim's yellow cigarette holder from the floor and walks out of the compartment.
Yeah.
Out of on the train. So what he takes is this yellow cigarette holder.
Yeah.
But then when we're in Belgrade, he meets Kerim Bay's son. He tells him his father's dead, and he says, "Oh, you'll want these." And he hands over the cigarette lighter, which we saw him take,
Yeah.
and a huge wallet, and a third shiny item.
I couldn't tell what that was.
Was it a cigarette thing? I don't
know. Yeah, maybe.
To light the cigarettes. I'm not sure. But he says, "These are all your father's stuff. You may want them back." And I'm like, we only saw him take the yellow. When did he grab this other stuff?
Yeah, he didn't. So that's another thing easy to miss. All right, number 17. When we see the engine of the train, I mean,
I like this one. This is good. This is good.
They're showing us. So, okay, they're on the train. You see the internal shots on the train. They're showing us the external shots of the train. Beautiful. Perfect. We see the engine on the train. Then they show it very clearly what the engine looks like. And
that sure looked like a miniature to me.
And at one point, they show us an external shot of the engine, and then we see some more internal shots. And another point, they show us an external shot of the engine. And that's probably about 2 minutes later, exactly 2 minutes after they show us the first shot. It's a completely different engine.
Oh, totally.
The later one has side screens up at the top on each side, no red bumper, completely different headlamps, and completely different configuration. It's really an entirely different engine. And then about 2 minutes later, again, we see another shot of the engine, and we get the first one back. But wait, we get about another 10 minutes later, perhaps, we get another engine, and it's not one or two, it's another one, a new third engine. It's 3-for-1 sale. We get three engines for the price of one. Wow. Now, I'll throw in another extra here, Tom, in case you didn't like the poster one. Throw in a little extra. If you look at when they're showing us the train engines, you'll also notice, or when it's stopping in a train station, the train car colors change. You got a very vibrant green at one point, and then a grayish blue again, and goes back and forth. Okay, all right. This is the Orient Express. They're supposedly on.
Yes, they are on the Orient Express.
So you've been on the Orient Express, huh?
Yeah, and I don't remember the engines changing when we were in motion.
I don't think they were.
No.
It's hard to change them when you're moving.
Yeah, now we're talking about the fact that the engine's changing and some of the appearance. Another telltale sign of this is kind of like on a car where we have a license plate with a number on it.
Yeah.
The train has that at the front. On one of the models, they use the numbers on the bumper. And then on the other model, the
It's up.
number is up at the top.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
just tell there's a different. And again, they didn't change the engines out when I was on that train.
No. All right. Now, here's another one. Let's get to number 18 because I think this is really a nice one. This is an example of a great use of music in the movie. When they're at the Belgrade station, Bond gets off the train because he's supposed to meet his other agent, Nash, there and give the signals with the cigarette lighter and all that kind of stuff. You'll notice while Bond is outside the train, Grant is still inside the train, walking in the car. And as he passes each window, staring out at Bond to see what Bond is doing, this ominous, menacing music plays each time he appears in one of the windows. Goes
We
away
love when
when
characters get a music assigned to them. That's really good.
but this is great. It goes away in between the windows, but as soon as he appears again, bam, there's the menacing music. It happens 3 times. And when he gets to the 4th window, we don't see him looking out of the window, but we see a reflection of him in the window. Oh, man, I thought that was brilliant. Brilliant
that
use of
that
music.
reflection, that's an easy thing to miss, but is that beautiful?
Yeah.
That was so well done because it's like, I'm here, I'm watching. You can't really see me, but I'm here.
Yeah, that is a definite miss that I think most people would miss. That reflection of Grant in the window on that 4th window. Perfect. Beautiful. And the music, awesome. Now, I want to get to the part where they're escaping. When the train finally does stop, when they jump off the train to escape, and there's the truck that was supposed to be waiting for Grant because the train was supposed to stop and Grant was supposed to get off. The truck is waiting there. Now, you got this yellow truck, and this is about an hour and 36 minutes into the movie, and 47 seconds to be precise, if you like. You see the yellow truck that's blocking the track. First of all, when you see it, someone looking out of the train window down at the track, this truck is blocking the entire track. It's across the entire track. Later, when they get out of the train, and they show it, it's only blocking the track about 3/4 of the way, and it's backwards. It didn't go forward trying to get off the track. It went backward a little bit, and it's like, okay, so that's another miss, I think, that is easy to miss. But again, the truck on the track.
Say that 5 times fast.
The truck on the track.
The track.
The truck on the track. The truck on the track. The truck on the track looks completely different than the truck we see Bond driving in later. It actually looks like it could be a Ford truck on the track because it's a different shaped cab and everything, you'll notice. Later on, we definitely see it's a Chevy truck. And there's no question about the Chevy truck. You see exactly the front grille of the truck and everything else. And it looks like a 1961 Chevy C30 flatbed truck. That's what we have actually predominantly in the movie.
Well, you were alive then, Dan. You might have recognized it.
I
wasn't.
I was only 22 then. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So we have that truck. There were significant rumors that the truck on the track was a Ford. So I think it's very likely that that's a different truck that's there. And that's absolutely true. And there's other stuff, of course, with this truck that we're going to talk about too. And that's our number 20. Because there's a lot of different things that's going on with this truck. It's not just on the tracks versus Ford versus a Chevy. Here, now our number 20, Tom, and then we're at number 20 now.
No, it's 19 because I'm not giving you the poster.
The yellow truck, when the grenade hits near the truck during the helicopter chase, the left side of the truck from the hood and the windshield is covered in ash and soot.
It kind of felt like somebody had a shovel that they were hidden and threw a shovel full of ash up there.
Well, it's all there. It's all there. And you can look at that. Again, an hour and 42 minutes and 43 seconds in the movie. Now, later, not too long later, actually, we see that the truck is absolutely clean. Now, I think Tanya must have been very busy, cleaning the truck while Bond's fighting stuff and fighting people and trying to save
during
his
the
life.
chase with the helicopter, they just conveniently didn't show you pulling him into a car wash.
Yeah, or there might have been a car wash there. That's good. I like that. I like that idea. All right, yeah.
Especially with all the flowers in the back of the flatbed.
Yeah. Now, also, when Bond is shooting the henchman in the helicopter, when he's about to drop the grenade, another grenade, and Bond shoots him and the grenade explodes inside the helicopter. Well, I mean, boom, the helicopter's exploding. We all see it coming down and the helicopter explodes. So this might be another bonus one for you, Tom, to substitute for
Well, maybe this will be your 20th.
Yeah. Or 22nd. Who knows? All right. Well, so he shoots him. Right. The landing runners of the helicopter are blown off immediately. You see that. They're hanging straight down vertically. Wow.
Wait, do we have a continuity problem coming up, Dan?
About a minute later, when the copter is crashing, coming down, the runners are back on. Now, I don't know if the guys jumped out of the helicopter, reassembled the runners. I don't think they did. I have a continuity error.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll actually give you that as your 20th, but because I didn't know you were going to talk about that one, I threw in 2 more because I'm not counting.
We get bonuses.
We get bonuses.
All right.
So the first one is the chess scene with Kronstein and McAdams just after the title sequence at the beginning of the movie.
It's a great
That's something
scene.
You likely missed, and this is especially true for today's audience. This movie came out in 1963. In 1960, the USSR chess championship match was between Boris Spassky, who defeated David Bronstein. The move that Spassky used to clinch the championship was the same move that Kronstein made to take out McAdams. So they modeled it after that, although they actually took 2 pawn pieces off the board, I think, to make it easier to shoot the shot. But the move he made was the winning move in the 1960 chess championship. Now, when this movie came out, if you were a big chess fan, you probably would have caught that move because Spassky was all over the news, back when he was winning that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think if you were born after 1950 or 1955, you probably missed it.
Yeah.
Right. That this was a very famous clinching move, but here it is in the movie and you probably missed it.
And in master chess tournaments like that, too. I mean, McAdams had one more move with the king. He could have moved the king to a free spot that wasn't checked. There is a free spot there, but he knew eventually he couldn't get out of it, so he flips it over. So they actually
he resigns because he knew he was dead.
Yeah, they really did do things like that, even though he did have another move. And I'm not actually positive that all the pieces that the guy was moving on the viewing board were exactly the same as the pieces on the chessboard.
Yeah.
I think at one point there was something with the queen or something that might have been a little off. Anyway, go ahead.
Well,
you have another one?
Yeah, his resignation there, though, when he knocks over. I mean, that's actually a fairly common thing in chess match.
Yeah.
So that all felt very good to me.
Yeah.
All right, so my last one is when James Bond is in the Russian embassy to get the lecter from Tatiana.
Yeah.
He's in the lobby. He's waiting for the explosion. He looks at his watch, and when he looks at his watch, you see a man's picture on the wall. It's a picture of cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin. So easy to miss, but it's there, and now you know.
Well, that's nice because actually Yuri Gagarin was the first human in space, of course, and the Russians put him up there. And that was on April 12th, 1961. So right around the time that they were filming From Russia with Love. So that was kind of a cool add-in.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. That's our wrap of 20 plus things you missed in From Russia with Love. Tell us how many of these you already knew. If you knew them all, let us know that. If you knew any, let us know that. All right, this has been Dan.
And Tom.
Thanks for spending time with us. We appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe right now.